like sweat. Lamar, what's happening? Look, I'm living at the speed of light cause I'm just trying to make it. Shit is too real, nigga, I can't even fake it. Early morning moving.
I talk that shit to my hood, how we done lost it all. Had some good and bad times, never thought we would fall. It's like we even up the score, then we missed the ball.
Hey, what's up, UB? Hey,
Actually, I was listening to your show all day.
what?
Yep.
What's up, baby? See the camera? What you do today in school? What you do?
In the streets and they
What you do? I know you just
It's
good.
a race
What
to
you
my
do?
dreams down a long haul. Obstacles in my way, I start to fucking crawl. Gotta get it by any means, it's the casting call. Free the gang, that's behind the walls. Say it twice, let you know that I mean it, dog. Come from.
What's going on? What's going on, man? I'm doing some shit, working some shit out, trying to figure some shit out, man. Welcome to the boxing session, live from the boxing session. We here, man. Tonight, man, we're gonna talk a little bit about Jaron Boots Ennis fight tonight. We're gonna do a little freestyling, whatnot. But yeah, man, I'm ready for the day, man, to talk that talk and yeah, man, this is what we on right now. We definitely it's gonna be live, man. Who out there, man? Put something in the comment section, man. Like the post. Shout out to my dog DB in the building, man. Appreciate you for stopping through. Shout out to H Money for stopping through earlier. What's going on? What's going on, man? What's happening? We talking Jaron Ennis. Jaron Boots Ennis versus Sergey Lipinets. And honestly, yeah, man, this fight, in my opinion, it won't be close. YV, what's going on, my brother? Appreciate you stopping through. In my opinion, this fight won't be close, man. Jaron Ennis is just too good, man. He's too strong. He's too fast. Great defense. Switch hitter. He can do it all, man. And then power in both hands. I mean, there's nothing else you can really say when talking about Jaron Ennis, man. There's nothing that he can't do in the ring. I mean, feints, hooks, uppercuts, jab, everything that he has is special. And I think that he's one of the best fighters in the game right now. He's young, hungry. He's out of the fighting town of Philadelphia, so he's been having good sparring his whole life. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think Sergey Lipinets can beat him, dude. I don't even think it's gonna be a close fight. I think it's gonna go the same way the Chris Van Heerden fight was supposed to go before the headbutt. So yeah, man, I got Boots easy. I got Boots easy victory, man. Easy victory. Let me know in the comments what y'all think, and we go from there. I'm gonna try this again, man. I got this documentary that I've been working on, man. I'm gonna try to see if this damn thing will buffer right, so I can get it to kind of like play. Let me see. I'm gonna try this thing one more time, man. Let me see how.
I talk that shit to my hood, how we done lost it all. Had some good and bad times, never thought we would fall. It's like we even up the score, then we missed the ball.
Hey, what's up, UB? Hey,
Actually, I was listening to your show all day.
what?
Yep.
What's up, baby? See the camera? What you do today in school?
What you
do?
Out in the streets and they
What you do? I know you just
It's
good.
a race
What
to
you
my
do?
dreams down a long haul. Obstacles in my way, I start to duck and crawl. Gotta get it by any means, it's the casting call. Free the gang that's behind the walls. Say it twice, let you know that I mean it, dog. Come from.
Yeah, man, this shit fucking up. Salute, man. Box fans, Rob Brown, my dog, Sir Reggie Owens. Whenever y'all want to get into the panel, the link is in the comment section. All right, man. So back to Jerron Boots Ennis. Great fighter, man. I've seen him up close and personal. I've held the bag for him. I've seen him train. I've been in the gym with him. The man is absolutely an amazing fighter. And Sergey Lipinets just don't have the talent, man, to keep him off. For sure, Rich, it's all good. Yeah, Sergey Lipinets just don't have the skill to keep him off, man. If he could beat Mikey Garcia, he for damn sure ain't beating Boots Ennis. Also, man, we could talk about this situation with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. A lot of people are taking it to heart or to head, whatever. But I think it was more of a, I'm going to show you who the big dog is, or a type of troll. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think he was trolling them more than anything. I think it was more of a joke, saying like, yeah, I'm the big dog, I'm the big fish. You know what I'm saying? You got to come through me. You know what I'm saying? To get the big payday that you want, you got to come through me. So that's what I believe it was, in my opinion. Misfit Ethan, man, what's going on, man? For sure, man. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, Southpaw, that's my man. Appreciate you for stopping through. Yeah, so in my opinion, I just think it was all like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm the big dog. You got to run this in order to get this paper. You got to come through me. So that's kind of where I'm going with it. People saying he ducking. I don't understand how somebody can duck somebody, and he's the only one on the PBC side that was mentioning Terrence Crawford's name. Most people wasn't even saying Terrence Crawford's name at all, and he's the only one that was saying it. So I don't understand why people can say he's ducking. I don't think either fighter is ducking, to be honest with you. I think they both want to be compensated from what they think they deserve. You know what I'm saying? And I can't fault a man for that. I can't count that. I can't count another man's pocket saying, oh, you deserve 50-50 or you deserve 60-40. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Let me get to let me put these up there real quick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, salute. Yeah, man, I just don't believe it, man. Me personally, I just can't go. I just can't. He says, what's my thoughts on Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo Alvarez? That's a shit fight. Some more bullshit to cover up some more bullshit. I think that Canelo Alvarez is a lot better than that bullshit. Kenneth Johnson, salute to you, my brother. He says, I agree, Earl Spence. The absurd is a part of, yeah, for sure. And this is the thing, man. The only thing that you can say about Earl Spence is, oh, he's taking too long to fight him. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's on me. I'm the big dog. Everybody knows this. Everybody in the media knows this. You can try to flip it how you want, but at the end of the day, Errol Spence is the top dog right now at 147. You know what I'm saying? It's nowhere around it. But yeah, back to that Billy Joe Saunders Canelo Alvarez fight. I mean, it's all right. I mean, it's cool for boxing. We're gonna watch it. But at the end of the day, I want David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? I want Caleb Plant. You know what I'm saying? Billy Joe Saunders is a drug cheat. I mean, Canelo Alvarez has done the same things also. But what I'm saying is, I don't like Billy Joe Saunders. He's a piece of shit. I'm rooting for Canelo Alvarez as much as I don't like either one of these guys. I gotta go with Canelo Alvarez over Billy Joe Saunders because he's a fraud and he's a piece of shit. That's all, man. Real talk. Billy Joe Saunders is probably the worst type of person to get the type of money that he's about to get. You know what I'm saying? They're about to reward this piece of shit with millions of dollars, and this is the same dickhead that was talking about how you can beat your woman up and find different ways how to beat her up, and she not the scars and bruises won't show up and shit like that. I'm not fucking with it. Let me see. As a fan of Canelo, it's becoming really frustrating with him fighting fights we don't want to see. Yeah, I mean, I get it's frustrating, but at the end of the day, as much as we don't like it, boxing is a business. You know what I'm saying? We could talk a lot of shit about the man, but at the end of the day, boxing is a business, and he's making business decisions. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to agree with his business decisions, but he's making business decisions. You know what I'm saying? We don't like him. You know what I'm saying? We want him to fight somebody for real, but at the end of the day, you know, it is business. So that's my take on it, man. The Billy Joe Saunders fight is really I'm not interested. You know what I'm saying? As fans, we're not interested. But at the end of the day, you know, if it makes dollars, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we can be mad at them for not fighting who want to fight. But as far as the business side, you know what I'm saying? Because as fans, we don't care about the business. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what he's making or what she's making or what they making. You know what I'm saying? We only want to see the fights. But these fighters, you know, they've been working their whole lives, man, to get this money. So, I mean, we fought them to a fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to see the fight. You know what I mean? We want to get on them a lot. We don't like what they do. But at the end of the day, man, they sacrifice so much to get to the position at the end. We kind of got to take it sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that who the fuck the dude he just beat, we can't remember his fucking name. Shit, what was his fucking name? Damn, I can't think of dude's name. You know what I'm saying? But we could have did away with that fight. That's one of the fights we could have thrown away. You know what I'm saying? If he could have fought Billy Joe Saunders before he fought that fight, you know what I'm saying? Fresh off the Conor Smith fight to Billy Joe Saunders, yeah, that's cool too. But the only thing I don't like about Canelo Alvarez, man, is he does this thing where he won't give you a full camp, so you don't know how to. People think that you just gotta be in shape and this and that. There's a game plan that comes along with that. You know what I'm saying? There's a game plan that you have to put in place to be the guy. You can't just go in a fight just because you're in shape and you know how to box. That's everything you need. No, I need weeks to prepare for this guy. I need to have my ducks in a row. I need to be able to know when to counter, or know when, you know what I'm saying, know when to get on the ropes, or know when to keep it in the middle of the ring. You know what I'm saying? That's all about preparation, getting prepared for a fight of that magnitude. And he doesn't give people the time to kind of study him and to figure him out. You know what I'm saying? It's these quick turnaround camps. It's a whole lot of stipulations. It's always something. It's never a straight fight. We can't never just get to the fight. It's always got to be hydration calls. It's got to be 5-week camp. It's got to be everything. I mean, you're the cash cow, okay, I understand that. But at the end of the day, let's get some type of fair playing field. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Only thing interesting about the Billy Joe fight is both are drug. Yeah. They both getting drug tested, so we're gonna have to see what's up. Now, imagine if both of these dudes fail the drug test, then where do we go from there? You know what I'm saying? That's yep. Canelo gives you just enough time to make way. Exactly. LEZ, man, appreciate you for stopping through, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Yeah, dog, like that's the thing. Canelo Alvarez, he gives you enough time to be in shape and to make weight. As far as preparing for him, hell no. Because think about this, right? If I got 12 weeks to prepare for you, I know I'm fighting you already. All right, I got this plan already that I got mapped out, right? So I've been studying you. I know what makes you tick. I know what to do against you. I know what to use against you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm ready. I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm doing. But you, on the other hand, you just got out of a fight. You know what I'm saying? You kind of trying to chill, decompress, whatever, what have you. And then boom, he says, all right, we're fighting in this amount of weeks. And it's like, damn, hold on, dog. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Let me can I get a little more time? You know what I'm saying? Like, can I get a full camp so I can get a good game plan? People don't understand, man. Like, the game plan is everything. You know what I'm saying? Nobody just goes into a fight just to fight. You got to have some type of plan. You know what I'm saying? Some type of plan of action to say, like, okay, this is what I'm doing. and this is how we're gonna move. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're gonna do here. This is what we're gonna do in this round. Okay, this is the fill out round. Okay, this is when you press the fight. You know what I'm saying? This is when you walk them down. You know what I'm saying? This is when you just utilize your jab, stay on the outside. It's so much shit that goes along with a game plan that you need more than 5 weeks for a fight of that magnitude. You know what I'm saying? And for you to be the best fighter, a great fighter like you say you are, give somebody the time to prepare. You know what I'm saying? And that is and that's the case. Okay, and Canelo gets time to cycle. Be good, man. You a fool, man. You a fool, dog. Be good. How do you feel about the Sergey Lipinets, Jaron Ennis fight? Are you excited about it? Anybody in the chat, man, tell me what y'all think about that Jaron Ennis fight, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, y'all thoughts, and we can just debate, go back and forth, talk about it, whatever. So we got the news. Devin Haney, Jorge Linares. It's not the fight that we want, but it's the fight that we need for Teofimo Lopez to step in the ring with Devin Haney. Bob Arum was on record saying that if you fight Jorge Linares, then you're closer to Lomachenko, or you're closer to Teofimo Lopez. I think he's going to feed him Lomachenko and then give him Teofimo Lopez before it's all said and done. But I really don't see him fight Teofimo Lopez anytime soon. So I guess that's a fight that we had to have. You know what I'm saying? That's the fight that they had to give us. Okay, the boxing said, okay, P good. So, yeah, YouTube search. You're gonna see a video. Oh shit, for real? Let me put this up. My bad. I've been my fault, y'all. I've been skipping out on the comments and shit. Kenneth Johnson says boots all day. 100%. Tone Brown, salute to you, my brother. Salute to you for standing up with us, man. Ennis is coming. He's about having. Oh yeah, for sure. He's gonna bust his ass, man. I got a bet right now with one of the homies. I like to bet my boxing friends their gloves because I got like a glove collection. So I just want to add to the collection of gloves. So I always bet them gloves, right? Because I already know I'm gonna win the bet because I already did my study and I already put everything in a row. So I'll be ready to go. So yeah, I got some gloves coming because we got to bet that Sergey Lipinets gets knocked out. No matter what round he gets knocked out in, but he's getting stopped. All right. Let me see what we got. Easy. He says, I believe Boots versus Lipinets is a good step up. Since Mikey KO'd him at 140, I don't see him being close to. No, for sure. Hey, listen, this is the thing about it, right? They saying it's a step up fight, right? But it's not really a step up when you're on a level of Jaron Ennis. You know what I'm saying? When you're on that level, there's no step up. The only step ups are the big names. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got knocked out by Mikey Garcia, dog, there's no way you're going to be able to withstand and sustain the attack of Jaron Ennis. You know what I'm saying? I've held the bag for the man, right? We're in the gym at his gym that he trains at, right? I'm doing a documentary on my homeboy, Josh the Boxer, which y'all seen the clips of, right? So I'm holding the bag, and he's hitting it. Right? Me and the bag are going like this, right? We're swinging like back and forth. He goes, man, he's hitting like this. He's not even hitting it hard. He like, I ain't even hitting it that hard. I'm like, shit, nigga, I can't tell. You know what I'm saying? The way I'm using all my force to kind of hold the bag still. Me and the bag's just rocking, and I'm telling you, man, you get hit with that, it's curtains, man. You know what I'm saying? Good night. That's all she wrote. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all got a knockout, or do y'all got to go into a decision? How do you have that fight going? Y'all let me know how y'all see that fight going. If anybody wants to join the panel. All you gotta do is click the link that I'm about to drop. If you want to join the panel, you just hit the link that I just dropped, and then we just go from there. What are y'all thoughts on a Devin Haney, Jorge Linares fight? YV says KO. What are y'all thoughts on the Jorge Linares fight? How do y'all see that fight going? I think Devin Haney's gonna get a stoppage. I think that style is perfect for Devin Haney. You know, so he's gonna come forward. He ain't gonna do a lot of holding. He's gonna come to fight, and we need somebody that's gonna come to fight for Devin Haney, because a lot of times people are there just to survive, man. P. Good says under 7 rounds. I'm with you on that one. I think he's like 6 or 7. 8 is the latest it's going. I don't see it going no further than that. You know what I'm saying? He's too small, man. He's too small. He's just too small for him. I'm not sure if he's working with Blu-ray or not. That would be a great look, though. I think. Listen, if y'all think about it, the last 2 fights Devin Haney had, they were slick and they were there to survive. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to put somebody out that's there to survive. You know what I'm saying? Easy says that's good name for Dev. I think he got to, because it's the thing. Now I think he's gonna knock him out though, because Jorge Linares is gonna come forward. He's not gonna be holding them and trying not to get knocked out. He's gonna go out on his shield. And that's the type of fighter we need Devin Haney to fight at this stage of the game, so people can stop saying, oh, he's boring, this and that. Because at the end of the day, you can be boring all you want, but if you're winning these fights the way he's winning these fights, it's kind of hard to say like, oh, he should do this or do that. My thing is he's winning, and he's winning all the rounds. Nobody's even winning a round against him. Yeah, but you know what? The shelling up ain't gonna work, because Chris Van Heerden tried to shell up, and he had to come up with that headbutt. You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy is Chris Van Heerden, he said that Jaron Ennis hits harder, he's faster, he's a better boxer than Errol Spence Jr. That's what Chris Van Heerden said after the fight. So I'm interested to see where that's gonna go. Right there, yep. Yeah, he's gonna go out on his shield. You know what I'm saying? And a good thing about Jorge Linares, he's not afraid to go out on his shield. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not finna shell up like Mikey Garcia. Like, okay, a lot of people say, oh, Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence could knock him out. You gotta think, man, this man is a 4-division world champion, I believe. If not 4-3. And he's a great boxer. It's not like he's a straight slugger, or he's going in there like Navarrete or Burchelt. You know what I'm saying? He's more of a Oscar Valdez. You know what I'm saying? He's moving, he's sticking, he in there, but he's doing a lot of moving around. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't going in there. He ain't going in there like Burchelt. You know what I'm saying? He's not willing to go out on his shield. Mikey Garcia is going to box, and he going, you know what I'm saying, he going to do high guard defense. You know what I'm saying? Let you beat on his arms and his body. As long as he can get through the fight, he cool with that. But Linares, he's coming to fight. He got that Burchelt type of vibe. He got that Navarrete, like, to keep coming forward. When I ain't doing no holding, I'm coming to see you. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming to fight. So I'm excited about that fight, man. Hey, DB, the link is in the chat. If you want to hop on, the link is in the chat. Salute to my boy DB, man. Boots will KO Olympians over short, easy. 4th to 5th? Okay. People forget Dev. Santiago. Dude, Santiago, listen. But Santiago was there to survive too, P. Good. It wasn't like he was just throwing them hands. All right, so check this out, guys. Real quick. Don't go nowhere. Nobody go nowhere. All right. So listen, we're gonna do a t-shirt giveaway. All right. This is for the chat. We're gonna do a t-shirt giveaway, right? All right. So everybody, put your predictions in. What's going on, Andrew? What's going on, big dog? How you feel? All right. So we're doing a t-shirt giveaway, right, for the Jerron Ennis fight. All right. Whoever gets it right, we're gonna give them a free t-shirt. So whoever gets this right, you get a free t-shirt. So everybody put your we're gonna do this one more time, so that way I can go back and look at everybody's answers. So everybody put what round is gonna be a knockout. Give me the round in which the knockout is gonna occur. Also, if you say it's gonna be a UD, put that. Hell, if you think it's gonna be a no contest, put that too. So that way I can just go back and I can look real quick and I know exactly where I'm going to be looking at, and I can just see all the names and what y'all put. So if y'all want to get this t-shirt, just put who y'all think wins that fight, and is there a knockout that's going to take place in that fight. Jay Dixon, salute to you, my brother. Salute. So yeah, so we're gonna do the t-shirt giveaway, man. I'm feeling generous. Okay, we got some UDs, we got some knockouts, 8th round knockouts. Okay. So it's a lot of knockouts. Jay Dixon is the only one that's in by unanimous decision. He says 4th round KO for Boots. Okay. So we're working. YV says Boots 5th round knockout. P Good says 4th round. Okay. Oh, you getting you getting super detailed. Salute to my dog, sir. Boxing conversation with Reggie Owens. What's up with my guy, man?
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? You on mute?
Yeah.
Okay. DB, what's going on, player? How you feeling? How you feel?
What up, Reg? What up, Kyle?
What's up, DB? What's happening, bro?
Doing a t-shirt.
Oh, man, feeling good. Man, the weather crazy as hell out here. I showed you earlier, man, it was snowing, then it was hailing, so rain, hail, sleet, snow, and then the sun came out. Man, it's crazy as hell. But you know what the weather is great for?
Sex.
Boxing. Boxing talk.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that mess pushing out here, man, we got a bunch of that wind. Because that weather coming from there got to come over these mountains, so now it's dipping, pushing all this wind out here.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Yeah, what was y'all talking about? Y'all just talking about the Linares and Devin Haney fight?
We're talking about the Jerron Ennis, Sergey Lipinets fight, right? So I'm doing a t-shirt giveaway. I'm doing a little t-shirt giveaway, right? So
yep.
Whoever predicts the fight, in whatever round, I'm gonna send him a t-shirt.
Okay, I got Boots for the eighth round TKO.
Yep. So I'm gonna do the playback. I'm gonna make sure that the playback, the comments is in the playback, so that way, once I go back and watch it, I can just kind of like see everybody's write everybody's name down and then go from there. But yeah, that's the plan, man. That I'm trying to try to do that. Okay, so who you got in that fight, Reg?
I'm going for Jerron, but I want it to be a tough fight. I'm not calling no early knockouts. I want to see him in a tough fight, so that way I can gauge exactly where Jerron Ennis is. I mean, we see the skills, but just because he shows flash, he looks flashy and this and that, doesn't guarantee him as great, being great like that. He going in here against a very, very tough dude who's never been stopped. Sergey Lipinets hasn't been stopped, so he's going to be a very tough guy. Been in there with Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is tough. And matter of fact, I was going to do a video about Mikey Garcia. When you talk about the top current modern day Mexican fighters, Mikey Garcia is above Canelo. Then he's mixed it up with some of the top names. He's just having to come around without Floyd around there. But he's been in there with these dudes. He ain't avoiding cats like that. He dared to be tough when everybody else avoiding what's his name, Earl Spence. But Lipinets being in it with Mikey went the full 12 with him, never being stopped. He's a tough, durable dude. And I think this is the matchup they need for Jaron Ennis. This is a great way to test him. I like the way they're slowly progressing him. You just don't throw him in there. You need to gauge and see where he's at. And I think Sergey Lipinets going to be it. But to think he's going to stop Sergey, I don't know. I have to see it. But just because he looks flashy doesn't mean he's proven yet. We've seen many flashy fighters go in here, look good against other people, step up in competition. It sometimes don't work out for him. So it's time to see that. Jaron likes to have fun in there. Sergey is a guy, he probably can't do that. Maybe he could. Maybe he could show how far his skills separates from everybody else. But I think he has to take his fight serious and clean up on some of the playing, because he didn't play too much in the fight with the headbutt with Van Heerden. He just went in there. He was mixing Van Heerden ass up. So he listened to his father, cleaned up a lot of that playful shit, and he went to work. It was unfortunate the headbutt occurred, but he was looking good in there. But Sergey's definitely a great fight to come back to.
We can have a friendly wager, Reg.
Huh?
Friendly wager. If he knocks out Sergey Lipinets, you gotta put Sir into the boxing conversation. Reggie Owens, you gotta insert the boxing conversation with Sir.
No, hell no. And then Eli was saying, then Mikey knocked him out. No, I think they went 12 rounds. Mikey knocked out that other dude. Who was that? You could tank you. Some dude when Mikey first made his comeback, that's who he knocked out. Yeah.
No. That's the Declinian.
Yeah, that's who Mikey knocked out.
Yeah. Lipinets got, I think he only got one loss, and let me see, he got a loss, and I think he had a draw with somebody, but I know he's only got one loss. I agree with you, Reg. I don't think that Jaron is going to go in there and just style on this dude. If he does, that shows us that Jaron Ennis is who we predicted for him to be in the future. But I think it's going to be a tough fight for the first 4 or 5 rounds. And I believe at that point, Jaron Ennis, with his youth and his flashiness and his speed and all of that and his power, he should be able to start pulling away around round 5 or 6. And then it should be tough for another 2 or 3 rounds. And if he's to get the finish, I don't think it's before 8 rounds. I think at 8 rounds should be about where he gets it. And again, if somebody's never been knocked out, man, it's tough just to knock somebody out, So he can get a TKO by overwhelming him with a lot of offense, you know what I mean, and flurries. But I also agree with Reg, man. I wanted this to be a tough fight. And I think if he goes in there and he has whether he has a good fight or not, if he goes in there and he gets the victory, I would still like to see him fight another young Mexican in Virgil Ortiz after this. I think that'll be a step up that's not too dramatic, like too drastic of a change, or a step up, and then he can start looking at fighting some of the other guys.
For sure. Let me get to the chat real fast. Dave the Real Thomas, man, salute to you, my brother, for coming through, man, and showing love. Big Tank, come on through go ahead and join the panel, man, if you feel like it. So, if y'all want to make a friendly wager, man, I can get to LA, I can get to Vegas. We could do some dinner or something. You know what I mean? Because Buddy getting stopped. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell y'all this. I said it in the chat before y'all got here, I think, or Reg, you might have been in here when I was talking about it, but I've been in the gym with that man, and he the goods, man. He is the goods. And most of the people that he fought had never been stopped until they fought him. And he stopped them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he ain't gonna be nothing different, man.
The bags and mitts in the gym gonna always make a fighter look good, especially when you got skills, speed, and craft like Jaron Ennis. But the moment you step in front of another man, it's up to the will. If the will of that man is up to par, all that looking flashy and good shit, it may not pan out the way that you see it. We see a lot of, you look at the history of the sport, you see a lot of flashy, flaring type fighters, and they get in here against somebody with tough will. It turns out different. And that's the sweet part of this boxing game. Sometimes certain high will fighters cause you to have to dig deep, and sometimes you have to dig deep, find out what's in the bag of tools, find out how far you can go into the waters, and you may get that out of Lipinets. And this is a test for Jaron. He's a young up and coming fighter. The gym is one thing. I mean, the gym is the place where everything takes place, and you got to put that work in. But bags and mitts, you gonna always look good on that shit.
Yeah, and the evident of that, Reggie, is the flashy fighter was Adrian Bronner against Marcos Maidana.
Facts. And Marcus Brown most recently. Marcus Brown, flashy, quick, speedy, and he got in there against an older man with experience and can understand his timing. He was mixing Marcus Brown before the cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't see that happening with I just don't see that happening. I can't see it.
No, I'm not saying I want to see it, but that's just the aspects of what fighting is. You can't. I mean, I hate to underestimate another fighter in the game. Like, these dudes put in work, and this is a tough dude. This is meant to be a step up fight. And I think that's the problem in boxing when they showcase fighters going to these easy picking type fights. You got to match these dudes with guys who are going to push them to the test, guys who are meant to, because you don't want to set a fighter up for failure. You put him in there like they talk about with the Rocky movie. I hear when people talk about the Rocky movie, they building Rocky up, putting him against lower standard fighters, and he's just washing through them and looking a certain way until he takes that big step up. So you don't want to put a person in have them believing in mirages and stuff. So that's the reason I want it to be a tough fight. I'm going for Jaron, but Lipinets ain't no punk. He ain't no walk in the park.
Go ahead, DB.
I like turtles.
Stupid.
All right, let me get to the Chizat, man. We got some new people that stopped through. We got the Pugilist just stopped through here, man. Salute to you, my brother. Gump 88, man. Salute to you too, my brother. Yeah, man. Salute to you. Salute to my dog Reggie Owens in the building. Yeah, man. So y'all don't think he's gonna get a knockout in this fight?
No. I said I don't think that he'd get an early knockout and be able to style on Lipinets the way that he has with his previous fighters. I think the further along he gets in his career, that he'll fight tougher competition. And we've all seen this plenty times before. It's very few fighters that have a step up in competition where they continue to have dominant fights or finish fights. Look at Errol Spence, for example. He was at like 88% knockout ratio, and then he started fighting these world champions and these guys that have a tougher beard. And so the outcome ain't the same. He's still getting victories, but they're and even if they're dominant, like, you just can't knock out better competition. They know how to slip punches a little bit better. You know what I mean? These guys have tougher beards that they're just genetically born with. So I think the step up in competition might slow down some of the knockouts. That doesn't mean that he's not a good fighter or a great fighter or that he'll get finishes, but they'll come in later rounds. Instead of knockouts, he'll get TKOs. Just some small things will change, but I still think that he is, like we say, I still think he's the goods, and I still think that he's going to have a great career, in this fight. Like I said, I think he'll get it. I just want him to have a good, tough fight first, and then start pulling away between rounds, 5 and 6, and probably finish the fight around 8.
Okay. Salute to Donnie Jones, man. Appreciate you for stopping through here. I think it's going to be fairly easy, man. I don't see it going past 7 or 8 rounds, to be honest with you. But if he gets him out of there quick, what do we say about Jaron Ennis? Do we say he has to step up some more and do get some more rounds in, or what are we saying to that?
Shit, keep doing what he's doing. Don't let it go to his head. and just keep mashing through. If he stopped this dude early, if he stopped Lipinets early, he gonna get the same. He gonna have to corner these dudes because they knew the same shit that we seen happening with Earl Spence early on. He gonna have to corner the game on these cats because they're gonna be in danger of them. And then also, like Eli was talking about, Jamal James, another dude. Jamal James, another dude out there.
Jamal James turned the fight down.
Oh, he turned down the fight?
Turned it down.
Yeah, but guys turn down fights for different reasons. He may have had an injury in his camp that he didn't want to disclose, or he may have felt like it wasn't a good stylistic matchup for him without having enough time to prepare for it. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's scared. You know what I mean? So that also doesn't mean that he won't take a fight in the future. So I like I said before, I think after Sergey Lipinets, I'd like to see him in a fight with a Virgil Ortiz or making these gradual step ups. We can't look for the guy just to have a great finish and then we push him too fast, because guess what? If we take 100 people, 100 fans, and everybody's going for Boots, and Boots take an L, that shit's going to drop down to 60 or 70 fans. And he takes another L after that, then all of a sudden people will be calling him a bum. So we got to be slow with these dudes and let them build themselves, but build themselves with quality fighters. So getting in a fight like this one right here, a quality opponent, we understand his talent and who he is, so he's going to get a lot of respect if he goes out there and gets a win. But if he gets a dominating win, then we're just going to give him some more props. But I think that we've already given him enough credit and respect in his skill set that we don't need to hype it anymore. We just continue to go for the ride.
Okay. Yeah, man. Who do y'all think is gonna be his biggest test?
Virgil Ortiz.
Okay, let me tell you something about Virgil Ortiz though. He got to get past Maurice Hooker first. That ain't an easy fight to just walk straight through. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that fight. I want to see how he fights against Maurice Hooker. I want to see how they get down. And that fight is next week. So I'm ready to see that fight. I want to see if he can beat Maurice Hooker. Maurice Hooker has a new camp. He got Bo Mack in his corner. OG Red, you know what I'm saying? So they got a great team over there. So I want to see what it's going to look like. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm not a believer in the triangle theory, not in combat sports. So I think that Mo Hooker can go in there and beat Virgil Ortiz, but that still doesn't mean that Mo Hooker is going to have a great fight against Boots.
No,
you understand?
What I'm saying is, you saying like you want to see him against Virgil Ortiz, but I'm saying like Virgil Ortiz got to get past Maurice Hooker first. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. He fight before Boots. So I'm saying he got to fight Maurice Hooker to see where he is. You know what I'm saying? And I think if he loses to Maurice Hooker, that's gonna knock him down a few notches. To be honest with you, this ain't MMA. DB, you know that. See,
that wasn't your question though, Kyle. Your Kyle was, who do I think is going to be the toughest matchup for him?
Oh, okay.
If you say who's next, I'd say the winner of Mo Hooker and Sergey and Virgil could be it. But you said the toughest matchup. I think the toughest matchup for him would be Virgil Ortiz.
Okay.
Man,
why?
I'm not sold on Maurice Hooker, man. And I don't think Maurice Hooker is going to do enough to keep Virgil Ortiz up off of him, man. But then again, I could be wrong, but I just don't see Maurice as the best test out there. I think Lipinets would have been a good test for Virgil Ortiz as well. He needs somebody who's going to bring the attack. Just the way that we seen Josecito Lopez kind of go at Maurice Hooker, take his heart. I was like, when I seen Maurice Hooker fighting, I was seeing that was going to happen to him eventually. I just don't see that in Maurice Hooker.
Well, I could tell you something that me and him talked about. We off wax, but a lot of stuff was going. A lot of times fighters be having a lot of shit going on when they go into these fights. You know what I'm saying? And he just had a lot of shit going on outside of the ring that kind of hurt his chance inside the ring. So I want. He's with a better team now. They're confident. So I'm gonna see. I want to see what he does. He had a good fight with them already. He had one good fight with him already. So I just want them to build on that. Me and Maurice Hooker, man, I met him in Atlantic City because my homeboy Stephen Cole Nelson, they in the same camp. So I met him, talked to him for like an hour or so. I'm always rooting for him, and I just think that he's in the right spot with Bomac. All right.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this division and how rich it is. I mean, there's still other guys that are in there that he can fight that are like good veterans. You know, what is his damn name? Armenian David Evanesian. You know, Jesse Vargas. You know, he can fight against a Green Machine, a Mean Machine. So there's still a lot of guys like that I think that he needs to start working on and getting through before jumping. And J.A. Dixon had made a good comment. Let me find it. J.A. Dixon said, yeah, everyone is too quick on the trigger and wants to label these guys the next person, you know, because in reality, Boots hasn't been past 6 rounds yet, and he could gas just like Harrison used to. And that's a fact. So there's no telling what's going to happen to this dude once he gets past 6, 7, 8 rounds. We don't know.
Like I said, I've been in the gym with him. I seen his work ethic. I seen how he trained. He ain't gassing out, bro. I'm just keeping it a band. I seen that man get down. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying something that I'm guessing or I don't know. I'm saying like from firsthand experience, I've seen this man get down. I seen this man drop heavyweights in the ring and the whole 9. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, bro, it's serious. You know what I'm saying? And his dad, man, he works him to death, dog. Like they do some shit. When they working out, man, it's crazy. The drills they gotta do, stuff like that, man. I'm telling you, man. I think he the goods, man. Well, I know he the goods. You know what I'm saying? And I don't. The only people I see beating him, could be Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I don't see nobody else on that level, man, that can beat him. Even Sean Porter said, I ain't fighting him. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he got to be something. He got to mean something. Danny Garcia said he wasn't going to fight him either. So, yeah. And Danny Garcia knows him very well. So,
does the last time you saw Boots, did he have hair like wool? And did his feet look like burnt brass?
Right before the haircut, yeah.
Okay.
But see, what Cal doing is a common thing you see within boxing, man. When people become fans of a fighter, they think nothing can go wrong with them, and I think that's it's one thing to be a fan, and sometimes you get caught up in the moments and also in the hype. But he is a man. All these dudes, no invincibility in the sport, and he got to face another man. So that's the good test about fighting. All it does is pushes Jaron, and even if he doesn't get the knockout, hey, it's always good to get tested and go through, you know, the whole full scope of the fight game, because it's beyond knockouts. You ain't got to knock everybody out to win a fight.
Yeah, that's true. That's a fact. That's a fact. That is a true fact. So this weekend, it's what we've all been waiting for. You know what I'm saying? Ronald Ellis, David Benavidez, man. How do y'all see this fight going?
I've only seen Ronald Ellis fight 1 or 2 times, and you know, I know David Benavidez's fight, so you know, I see David Benavidez because of his experience and the dog that he has in him, and he's got something more that he's looking to fight for. So I just think that he's got a little bit more in the tank, again, based off of the little history that I do have with Ron Ellis. So I'm gonna pick David Benavidez in this fight, also because I want to see. I want to see the person that we, you know, deemed as a king and a lion and a dog. I want to see if he wins this fight, what moves are Canelo, Caleb Plant, and Jamal Charlo. So it's got more riding on it than just this fight. So I'm pulling for him, and then, like I think Fred was saying this too. This is my first time doing this. Like, I usually go for the black fighter or a fighter that I have a connection with, that been in my gym or something.
Right. I'm keeping it 1,000 with you, DB. I said that when I was on the panel with H Money. I said, dog, he's my favorite Mexican fighter. You know what I'm saying? It's him, and I just said the dude's name, man. Navarrete. I used to love Canelo before all this bullshit started taking place. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Those are special fighters. And David Benavidez, it's the first time, dog, in the history of Kyle Davis's life that he's going to go against the black man. You know what I'm saying? I'm being real, man. I seen that dude up close and personal. I tried to root against him when he fought Anthony Durrell, and man, did that shit backfire on me, boy. I mean, who was at the fight? Were you at the fight, DB?
Yeah, I was there.
Now, I don't know how close you was, but I was kind of close to the. I was like, you know how the floor seats right here, and then right after the floor seats, that's where I was at. And the way that motherfucker was hitting, I mean, you can just hear that. You can hear that shit through the whole. I mean, I don't know if it was the microphones or what, but man, you could just hear that shit. You could just hear the hits, man. And when he split that eye open, and he just started he kept hitting that eye. You just hear that shit. I said, man, this boy is serious. This boy is serious. Marvin Rowland, salute to you, my brother. What you think about that, DB, when you was at Staples?
Sorry, man, my fat fingers couldn't touch the damn unmute button fast enough. Yeah, man, I thought it was actually was a good competitive fight, and it wasn't like he just ran through. Damn, what's the
Durrell.
Anthony Durrell. It wasn't like he ran through him. Like, it was a good fight. Anthony Durrell was actually in the first half of the fight was winning the fight, and then I think that eye had something to do with it. You know what I mean? He couldn't see. He had kept blinking. Half of his eye was covering his face. But he took, David Benavidez took some tough shots, and he showed what he could do, man, because he showed power late, and he kept his power through the late rounds too. And I was sitting close, man. I was right there basically right next to the ring, and that boy could throw some leather.
He throw hella punches too.
Yeah, got good volume. Yeah, power and volume is a scary combo.
Real. Hey, Reg, how do you feel about Devin Haney, Jorge Linares?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't know too much about Linares. I'm not gonna even lie. Even when they were hyping him up, I don't know too much about him at all, except I remember seeing him drop Lomachenko, seeing he was putting up a good fight. But when it comes to him, I really don't know too much about Lipinets. I ain't gonna even lie about that. But I know about Devin Haney, and I like what I see with Devin Haney. But also, I think it's good to fight these experienced veterans, knowing what Lipinets, I mean, not Lipinets, but what's his name? Linares. Knowing what Linares is able to do against Lomachenko. It's a good fight to put him in there since he can't get the Lomachenko. And I think it's good that Devin Haney and them, they set their own path. If you ain't going to get the young counterparts, F them, go after these other dudes. I wish they would have took the Lomachenko fight over this one, but hell, get this fight. They'll make the comparison because everybody's making these triangle theory type fights. All right, this person fight him. Now I'm going to fight him and show you what I do with him. Then I'm going to fight this person and show you what I do with him. But it's a good test for both of them to go in there against experienced fighters and see how you match out with them. So I like it, but I don't know too much about Linares at all.
For sure. Y'all know Ammo Williams? Y'all familiar with him?
No, I always heard about him. Who used to talk about him? I think Black or somebody used to talk about him, but I never watched him fight neither.
Okay. Yeah, man, I like that guy. I like him. He was my boy Aaron Cody was supposed to fight him, but he got hurt in camp. So he not gonna make that. He ain't gonna get that big payday, man. I was like, damn. Have you seen him, DB?
Yeah, Stay Ready had him on, and so I seen Stay Ready in the gym with him. I don't know, probably about a year ago, maybe about a year and a half ago. And I've only seen one of his amateur fights. I haven't seen none of his pro fights. But yeah, stay ready and those the H-Town boys, and yeah, probably Black was talking about them too. So they speak highly of them, but I don't take nobody's word for fighters. I like to see a dude myself, and I like to see a few things. I like to see how they are in their interviews, what kind of confidence they have. I like to see what they look like at weigh-ins, the day after weigh-ins. I want to see 2 or 3 performances so I can make my own assessment. I can't come in here and take what Reggie likes. Reggie has a different style that he likes. He may like pressure fighters, and I may like guys who are, guys who fight off the back foot and use defense a lot more, counter punchers. We may have different styles that we like. So I can't just take his word for it and say such and such is the truth because Reggie said it. You know what I'm saying? Even though I respect his opinion, but I got to make my own judgment. So I have to see more fights before I can make a judgment. But in terms of Devin Haney fighting Jorge Linares, I mean, I asked for this. I said this before when Reggie was still going live before he took his hiatus. And I said the Linares fight will be good. He can get in there and fight all these veterans who are veterans or champions if you can't get the other guys that are supposedly the 4 horsemen. So I think having a fight with Raleigh, I think having a fight with Ivan Mendy or Richard Comey, Javier Fortuna, I think you can keep fighting these dudes. And shit, if you don't have no injuries, if you go in there and style on these dudes, whether you get a knockout or not, as long as you don't sustain any injuries or any damage, man, 3 months later, 2-3 months later, get your ass right back in the ring. Fight 3, 4, or 5 times. You get paid $3 million every time you fight. Shit, go in there and make yourself $10, $12 million this year. And then the following year, there's nobody else for you to fight. For those guys to fight, they have to fight you. And then you can start unifying titles.
Yeah, that's a good plan. That's a good plan. I just hope it don't have to go that far. You know what I'm saying? I just hope he can, land some cool fights, man. Reg, man, I'm disappointed in you though, brother. There was a Wednesday night fight tonight, and there was no commentary from the best play-by-play man in YouTube YouTube land, man. What the hell happened?
I'm disappointed y'all didn't come check out the book reading we over here doing. Shit, talking about the fight, we reading the school by the door. That's what we was doing. So I'm disappointed y'all not coming through to listen to the book.
I stopped by Tank Page. Yeah, I stopped by his channel. But damn it,
man, F stopping by to hit the like button. Tune in.
I tuned in a little bit, but what I'm saying is, I was looking for, you know what I'm saying. You already got us started on something. You know what I'm saying? You don't bring us up, man. You don't bring us up from children to teenagers now with this commentary when it comes to these fights. So I'm like, oh shit, let me go ahead and get to Reg because my app fucking up, so I don't get to see the fights when I want to see them. So I'm like, man, we're gonna see what I'm gonna go ahead and go to Reg. I'm like, oh shit, Reg with Tank right now. Damn. And nobody was doing the play-by-play of the fight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn. So I had to wait on Instagram to see the results. And man, the results, I didn't like the results at all, man. Because for one fight, I had 2 people that I follow and that I talked to on Instagram. They fought tonight, so I couldn't pick a winner in that. And then my homeboy Rail, he trains the guy that fought David Lee today, and shit, you know how that went.
Yeah, no, I saw that one. Bad.
He hit a shot.
Slap him.
Hey, he hit David Lee with a shot. David Lee ate he took it and he came with it. I said, God damn, okay. I said, all right. And he never been stopped before. The fighter that he fought never been stopped. So I was impressed with that shit. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, I just don't think that dude believed in himself because he fired a cold ass jab. I think he threw the jab to Lee chest. I said, damn, this dude got a strong jab, but he didn't follow up with anything behind it. He looked a little scared. He was leaving himself open with them shots, and I think Lee pressured. Lee was making a lot of mistakes. Lee step in when he kind of more to step in. He kind of float forward with his jab, and when he misses, I mean, this should have been a counter. Anybody. To me, a fighter with great counter ability gonna tear Lee up if he doesn't correct that shit. But I think old dude was a little bit scared or something. Maybe he didn't believe in himself, being that he came in there to me feeling like an underdog. He knew what they were doing with Lee. I think Lee got 100% knockouts or something. And he just left himself open. So he know Lee can punch, but he can punch too. He threw I think more than one or two strong ass jabs that hit Lee. And I said, dang, man, all you gotta do is connect this to the face.
Yeah. The difference though is the size, bruh. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, you at 140? You know what I'm saying? Like, he looked big as hell, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he looked big as hell, bro. And I'm like, I'm looking at my homeboy fight. I'm like, man, he's way smaller. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't expect that knockout, but I shit, I didn't expect that though. He hit him hard as shit. But they both hit each other hella hard though. But he came with that counter shot, man. It was over. OVER. Did you get to see it, DB?
Yeah, my pops sent me the highlight.
Man, that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. Okay, so Reg. So we went through the Claressa Shields fight. What is a good number if for our pay-per-views? What would be a good number for success in your eyes?
Oh, for her, maybe, but for her it's gonna be no different than what the networks expect for break-even points or whatnot. But being she was on like an app, pretty sure they ain't put too much money in it. They may want to at least see 100,000 buys from it. I think a network would really like to see somewhere in 100,000 buys to see if they continue on with it or if they move it forward. But some network has to be willing to put in the work. If they got a fighter they can trust, thinking she'll do something, they got to do what Dana White did. Dana White took a huge risk when, as much as I don't like that motherfucker Dana White, I got to respect him. I respect, man. That's the one thing about me. I'm going to give you respect when that shit is due. And I give Dana White his respect on that shit for what he did to build up women's MMA, taking a chance on that one, lifting it with a fighter he knew can carry kind of that division or that side of the sport. He did a great thing with it, and even moving it to where other women, like you seen Amanda Nunes as an undercard. This is what Claressa needs to do. Claressa got to follow some of these moves from him. As an undercard co-main event fighter, Amanda Nunes made $2 million off that recent fight. $2 million, and Claressa Shields can probably take that step just to get more of a draw to her, go in a fight where she's going to display her skills, her talent during the build-up, let her story be told, get one of those 24/7 type productions going on behind her story when they mix it in with a big name. She ought to be trying to get on if Crawford get the Pacquiao fight, which is possible to happen if Bob Arum opens his damn pockets, give Pacquiao that $40 million, get the boy his fight. And she can get on that undercard. Otherwise, if Earl Spence and Crawford are able to put on a fight, get her under that. She has to be willing to take that. So that way, when she goes into her next event, there's more money behind her. That's what the UFC did. Dana White's done a brilliant job with that shit.
So, DB.
Well, when somebody is a 2-division undisputed champion, crossover athlete, two-time gold medalist, boisterous and female, and semi-activist. I think her number to be a good number. So I think Reggie's saying an acceptable number, if I'm not mistaken. You think that's a good one where they're doing better than breaking even. I'm going to say about 150,000 to be a good number where the networks are going to be, the networks and the management, promoters, and everybody will be happy with it and say, and at that point, they'll start to add some more marketing behind it. Say, okay, if we push this right, then, we can really get a good return on our investment. So yeah, my number was 100,000 maybe before this fight, but I think she's got a lot of eyes that she can peel back, and so I say 150K would be a good number for her.
Okay. Yeah, I hope she get that, man. I really do, man, because if she can get that, that's gonna open up some doors for her, man, that nobody can shut. And we're gonna one of these days, man. We're gonna do a strictly women's boxing topic, man, and we're gonna really talk about that aspect versus the MMA side versus the boxing side. Somebody asked in the comments, Gary Russell, Ray Vargas, your thoughts on the fight? Do you like the fight? And who wins the fight? Reg, DB.
Reg, can I say something real quick just about Claressa Shields? You said that she would open that would open a lot of doors for her. But you know what? She's also got to reciprocate that love to the women in the division. So, you know, she hasn't demonstrated that yet. You know, in order for that to happen, she's got to give opportunities to girls like Raquel. So, you know, I know it's one thing for her to get the fame and the glory and get the money and say that other bitches the other women are like just like nobody type bitches. She got to lose that, and she got to say, damn, I gotta prompt up and promote these other chicks and say that it's going to be a great fight. Floyd did well at that. He'll get in the ring and he'll go, you know, this guy, you know, he's a great champion, you know, and it's going to be a tough fight for me. You know, he will pump up the other fighter so people will go, yeah, this guy's got a chance, and get in there and annihilate him. So she's got to learn that part. I think Reg was saying that earlier. She's got to learn that, how to politic and play with the media and the fans a little bit. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's my piece.
SFC, salute to you, my brother. Somebody got a question for you, Reg. You can respond to this.
Oh, okay. I was going to wait after we finish the boxing, but my reason why Dana White is a racist to me is, for one, you see the contrast in the way he handles shit when it comes to the marketing he put behind things. You had where Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture, Rich Franklin, who was that other dude that came from Stephen Bonner, all these
Matthews.
Yeah, almost all white organization. He developing this to these white guys being the baddest people on the planet, as they kind of shifted away from that whole model of a boxing champion being the baddest man on the planet, being he has this market to himself, being all the other races of fighters were still competing in Japan, still over and doing a lot of these good fighters were coming from out of K1, still doing that. Pride fighting, and they weren't over here when he had that market for Chuck Liddell and all them to build them up. And they're just washing through the guys that they had over here, and a lot of marketing behind that. They ran that program very, very fast because he knew it was coming down the pipeline. There's a lot of marketing behind it, all this other stuff, promotional advertising and stuff. And these dudes still eat up off of the UFC from their early work, and they weren't even the best guys. The minute they brought out competition, that competition came over there, they washed through all these former white champions quickly. You didn't start hearing about Matt Hughes anymore, who was super dominant. You didn't hear about Chuck Liddell. You didn't hear about Couture, who I think was kind of old, though, but you didn't hear about none of these dudes. You start seeing more Brazilians, more black fighters, this and that. But the money wasn't still – you think they didn't get paid now? They really wasn't getting paid, but they were probably the hottest thing in the market. MMA fighters had it tough. The MMA fighters had it tough for what they fought and the way they made money. A lot of them earn it through sponsorships, putting in good work as trainers. They do give back to their sport because they teach the arts and stuff. That's the one thing I do give MMA fighters. And that's why MMA as a brand stands strong, is that they don't crap on it. Many of these fighters will go back, they train, they pass because they're martial artists anyway. You see that with the Diaz brothers, all of them. They put on their own dojos or whatever they call them, studios and gyms. You see the same thing with Vanderlei Silva used to have a gym I see out here in Vegas and stuff. But Dana White didn't give that same kind of energy to these black and Brazilian fighters when they came out here. It was a difference, even when they start holding titles. The only thing that attracted these dudes to getting contracts is mainly like Rampage, because Rampage was polarizing figure and shit. Dana White ain't had nothing to do with that. Dana White didn't care about these dudes like that. You watch the same thing when Dana White had the damn UFC house fight. I forgot what that shit was called. The UFC, the fighter, or whatever it was. The Ultimate
Fighter.
Yeah, the Ultimate Fighter, the way those white fighters got treated, and even with what was that dude named? The white dude I always bring up, Junie Brown. The way he can act belligerent.
Junie Brownie.
Yeah, Junie Brownie, white kid can go in there in that house, act, belligerent as hell, breaking every single rule Dana White put in place. But based on this kid being a white kid out of a certain environment, he got every single opportunity of breaking all the rules and giving these second chances of coming back on that show. If he was black, he'd been gone. You look at the way black fighters are kicked out of the UFC. A fighter misses weight, Dana White kicks them out. Mighty Mouse, one of the greatest fighters in there, he kicks him out. Anderson Silva being the most dominant dude, Dana White going press conferences, disrespecting him. But then you get Ronda Rousey come back. They don't act nothing like martial artists, the most disrespectful people within the game. It worked for their benefit because of the foolish rural and suburban white person holds a different standard. Oh, that's cool, and they cheer that on. But the same second when their black counterparts acting the same way, who they really copy that shit from, these same white folks and try to bash that. But who's to say we care about what they say? But then you look at Conor McGregor, the same thing. He's new into the sport, hasn't done anything. Same thing with Nate Diaz saying that shit. You're taking what I done built. You just get here and Dana White already putting money into him. And I knew how they was treating Conor McGregor because when I worked for Enterprise, I worked over, not that I worked, but we had a contract with one of the Fertitta hotels at Red Rock Hotel. And the shit they used to do for Conor McGregor was ridiculous. We setting aside cars for this dude, parking him over at the Fertitta house, leaving him over at the hotel. And sometimes this fool wouldn't even show up. But it was just showing the double-sidedness, like the double standards when it comes to how they treated certain white fighters. Even the Sage Norcutt kid, because he had a certain look. They thought this would be the next white kid to come in there and try to dominate. So now they can push and project him because he has that media, the white media look that they want. So these are reasons with Dana White. Dana White does some very unfair things when it comes to how he treats his black fighters. Shit. John Jones, even before the trial, even with what John Jones going through, he should have been marketed and pushed hard by the UFC. The UFC ain't do nothing to build John Jones. John Jones' performances build him. Dana White and them didn't do shit for John Jones, and that's the sad part. But that's why I feel like that. He's a racist, regardless of how you put it. Even look at his attachments with Donald Trump. Not to say you gotta be a racist, but something gotta be wrong with you to support a fool who speaks like what's his name? Donald Trump. Donald Trump no different than these kings and queens in England. So it's anybody who wants to act like he ain't a racist, you fooling yourself.
DB?
Yeah. Of course, I'm gonna add on to that right there. Yeah, Reggie touched on some good stuff. I keep forgetting Reggie, an old man, but he just got a young body and a young face. And you remember all the old school stuff, man. There was tons of things, but I think more than anything that, according to the conversations that I had with Reggie and Big Tank and whatnot, is Dana White's bully tactics when it comes to his contracts and his fighters. But he's done tons and tons of things. Speaking about the Ultimate Fighter house, Rashad Evans was put there. I mean, Rashad Evans literally should be a welterweight at 170 pounds, and they put him in there as a heavyweight in the Ultimate Fighter house. And he was there to lose, so he can kind of get rid of him. This was his second or third time trying to come in there. And he went in there and won the whole thing. Little bitty dude beat up all those fucking heavyweights. Same thing happened with Anderson Silva. He was actually supposed to be the sacrificial lamb for Chris Lieben. He came in and became the greatest fighter of all time. Anthony Rumble Johnson had an instance where he missed weight 2 times. He got dropped from the promotion. I mean, shit, we already know what happens with all these other fighters when they lose. But speaking about John Jones, same thing. John Jones had a lot of legal issues and things that happened outside, but Conor McGregor's got 2 sexual assault cases. You know what I mean? Conor McGregor has assault and battery cases. This guy beat up on an old man. He threw a damn thing through a bus. He's slapping the cell phone out of people's hands. Spit at somebody. Tons and tons of things. They don't use these things to promote the fight, but when they try to promote John Jones, or if they put anything into it, they talking about his legal issues. Now while John Jones ain't no fucking saint and he's a little bit of a weirdo, give him the same treatment that you give Conor McGregor, right? And somebody just said it there, that Tyron Woodley was never given a fair shake. He went on a crazy run, I think Jay Dixon was saying, and he was just looked at like, oh, he's boring, or you know what I mean? But there was no marketing put into him. Kevin Holland, the latest prime example of it. Kevin Holland was on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series fight. Dana didn't give him a contract, said he had a big mouth and he didn't want him. And then later on, here you go. Kevin Holland is in there, 5 fights, prospect of the year, knockout of the year, and getting ready to have a huge year this year. And now he's, one of Dana White's favorite fighters. So it's been plenty of unfair treatment by Dana. While I love the sport and I'm not really tied to the company or to Dana like that, because I can have a good time watching ONE FC or watching Bellator or watching another organization, SFW, seeing another organization where dudes is get down. It doesn't have to be the UFC. I'm not married to those 3 letters. Fuck Dana White when it comes down to it, because he's the same as a Bob Arum or Oscar De La Hoya or Eddie Hearns for me. But in terms of his business model, with lining up the best fights and some of the things that I do like about it, he does a great job. Like Reg said, I give credit where it's due. But yeah, he's done plenty of bigoted things and bully things that he's done. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you what he just did. He just did some other punk bully shit. Chris Cyborg, being a fan, and she has a podcast and a YouTube channel, and she does a lot of charity work. She always goes to Africa and to Brazil and working with young girls and young kids. She had some people with her, and you probably heard about this, had her van outside of the UFC event, like basically, so, you see fighters come and go, and she can get some autographs and stuff like that, with some people in the van. And Dana White was like, when he was asked about it, oh, Cyborg had her van parked outside, do you think it was the troll? And Dana White like, oh, it don't matter. That's funny because I just posted her getting knocked out by Amanda Nunes about 57 different angles. And then he laughed, but that was a part of his bully tactics. He didn't like her because she was the threat to Ronda Rousey's throne, and she wasn't the blonde hair, blue eyed white girl. She was the Brazilian who likes to stay in touch with African people. And he said she looks like Vanderlei Silva in a dress, and just making other comments. So he's a chauvinistic bully, bigoted Marxist, westernized racist piece of shit asshole. He's just got a great company.
Yeah, and also look at like he's just a punk, and it's the problem like in America, man, with people when they get money, and almost like with people with a gun. Money and the gun would turn the biggest pussy on this planet into feeling like he's Superman and shit, or the biggest badass. Money and guns do that. Underneath Dana White and the money, he's a bitch. And that's just, sorry to cuss on the channel. I just really hate the dude. But even look at what's his beef with Ariel Helwani. Like he constantly got a beef with a media dude. Like he's a clown, man.
Yeah, and his it's funny because his entire beef with Ariel Helwani was because Ariel Helwani found out that Brock Lesnar was coming back from the WWF or WWE or whatever it's called, making a comeback into the UFC, and he reported on it an hour before Dana, and Dana didn't like when reporters did that. He wants to be the first person to break the news, and Ariel's like, well, it's my job. I'm a fucking reporter. I'm supposed to report shit. So Ariel said that there's rumors that Brock Lesnar is going to come back, and Dana heard that, and he lost his shit and acted like a spoiled rich brat, and that's what the entire beef is about him hating Ariel Helwani's guts because of that.
Right. And then, it's the crazy part, like Brock Lesnar's the biggest dolphin up in this damn sport. He can't fight. He's just a big dude. And he keep coming in here roided up. And Dana White brings this dude in here knowing he fails tests, somehow hides the test, and pays this dude millions of dollars to just walk away from the UFC. Like, Dana White is a scumbag, man.
Yeah. That's right. Damn, Pete, I didn't understand the question, Pete. You said, can you speak on Dana giving Woody, but only after it was clear that Woody had slowed down?
DB, also getting that Sean O'Malley one. That's another dude who Daniel tried to throw money behind. Yep,
Sean O'Malley comes in. The guy's unproven, and immediately start throwing these marketing dollars behind him. And I mean, of course, he's the white guy, but he's a regular American white guy, but since he has the Irish roots, and Conor McGregor was the big money maker in the UFC at the time, Dana wanted to kind of follow that up and promote Sean O'Malley and just throw all kinds of money behind this dude. And yeah, he ended up turning out not to be shit. You know, Cheeto Vera knocked his ass out.
Real quick,
yeah.
Donnie Jones, man, we can put the link in the chat. And salute to UK 47 Boxing, aka Rap Star Boxing Knowledge, man. Appreciate you for coming through. Yeah, I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and if you want to join in, you can. If you're at work, we understand. My bad, DB. Go ahead.
No, that was just it. But just about that, about Sean O'Malley. You know, they also tried to do the same thing with T.J. Dillashaw. He's just an unlikable dude. He's also a fucking dope fiend. You know, sorry, I didn't mean to curse too, but you know, injecting steroids into his veins, and you know, so every time they try to prop these dudes up, man, they put them against one of these melanated warriors, and they get beat up on, or they end up missing weight tons of times, getting rape cases outside. You know, beating up on their girlfriends. I mean, and just doing all sorts of beastly savagery, and you know, and you can't continue to promote a guy like that. Like, I don't know why Conor McGregor's name is still getting the sort of recognition that it gets. You know what I mean? We should be looking at this dude saying this dude is the worst of the worst, kind of, not just an athlete, but human being. Like, he is literally human trash, you know. But let those same things happen to a black fighter. I mean, you name the fighter. Let Israel Adesanya have 2 or 3 sexual assault cases. You know, let him have a baby out of wedlock. Let him get caught sleeping in a bed with a prostitute, or hitting a senior citizen in the back of his fucking head, or taking the fan's cell phone and smashing it against the ground, you know, or throwing a Red Bull and hitting a little kid, or spitting at a fan. It's not one thing, or throwing a dolly through a bus. I mean, it's over and over and over. Making racial statements, you know, Floyd Mayweather, dance for me, boy, you know, talking about Floyd Mayweather's guys look like the monkeys on the Rocky movie. I mean, it just goes over and over and over. Guys? What's up, DJ? And it's constantly being.
What's going on, man? I'm getting real bad.
Hold on, DJ, you gotta hold up. Homie.
Oh, mute your mic. Hold on, he gotta finish his point. We got you. Hold on. Go ahead.
Yeah, hit the mute button. There it is. So anyhow, if that just happened to be a guy with a different with a different skin tone, it wouldn't have the same marketing behind it, and the energy would just be different, you know. And whatever Dana White says, him and Joe Rogan, their mouths are they're the mouths for the sport. So if Dana or Joe Rogan says it, then it's like that becomes gospel. And then all the major media companies run with it, which obviously means that the fans will take those words and then run with it and use that as the gospel. So, I mean, there's just tons of point. And this is what Dana has been known for. But go ahead, DJ.
You muted.
Basically, I agree with what some of you guys are saying, but I just think he likes guys who we can actually build around. Like, I don't think at one point, you remember, he was actually talking about getting rid of that 125 division, because even though Mighty Mouse was running through everybody, stopping everybody, he couldn't sell pay-per-views. And I think that's pretty much what it comes down to, because you look at some of his champions. How many white champions are in the UFC right now? 1, 2?
It ain't many, because we dominating. But you can build these same champions the way you do black with the way they do white fighters. All the stars but let me say this, Donnie. When you really look at it, when a person doesn't want to attempt, you're going to always get failures in numbers. But the most marketable athlete on this planet is going to be a black athlete. Dana White, does he want it? There's a possibility of no. Dana White reminds me of the producers of Fox. When you remember we had New York Undercover as a television show. It's the hottest shit on TV. New York Undercover didn't fail. New York Undercover as a TV show didn't fail because of ratings. It failed because they killed it off because what was happening with high ratings. Dana White can produce that. And the best benefit to Dana White would be to promote these black fighters. His thing is worrying about what he almost has this political mind of how does he doesn't want to rile up his base by pushing this kind of black approach to a sport that was built around a place for white folks to congregate inside the combat arena. Dana White has a refusal of wanting to build a black star.
And I'm gonna give you a contradiction to that. Do you remember the lead up until the first Francis Ngannou and Stipe Miocic fight? It was all about Francis. It was all about Francis. Who's gonna stop him? He's knocking. Am I muted?
No. Can you turn your volume down a little bit because it's kind of getting feedback?
Okay. I'm sorry about it. Is that better?
Yeah, you good?
Is that better? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember the bill. I think it was 3 years ago now, before that first Stipe and Francis fight. It was all about Francis. Nothing about Stipe. Stipe was like, Stipe is the champion. He's defended the belt more than anybody. But yeah, look at this African god I got over here that's starching everybody. Stipe, you remember how Stipe wouldn't even let Dana put the belt on him after that fight?
Yeah,
because he felt so disrespected. He felt so disrespected as a champion to have this contender who's I was reading the comments, but he felt so disrespected as a champion to not have the promotion that he felt like he should have as being the most successful heavyweight champion in history. He defended the belt, I think, at that time 4 times. More than Cain Velasquez, more than Brock Lesnar, more than Frank Mir, anybody. And Francis got the majority of that. He was trying to build Francis up, and Stipe killed that push.
Hey, DJ, are you in the bathroom?
No, I'm in my office. It's big place.
It must be a big room and shit. It's bouncing.
It is. I hear the sound bouncing off.
Yeah, we just got to work through it. We can work through it.
Got a battery.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, I'm at work, so it's a big room and everything's bouncing off.
Okay, no, it's
that's cool. Yeah, but, just whenever you're not talking, just mute it.
Okay, I got you.
So, but yeah, I have a rebuttal to that. So Dana White, see, it wasn't only about race. You got to remember too. We also said his bully tactics. So a part of what a reason why he promoted Francis more than he promoted Stipe is because Stipe didn't want to fight. Dana wants the fighters to be as active as possible. So if they promoted Stipe as the greatest and most successful heavyweight of all time, and Stipe kept saying, "Give me more money. I don't want to fight this guy. I'll fight that guy." He was being a bit of a prima donna. And Dana he's like, "Listen, I put money and effort into you. We calling you the greatest heavyweight of all time, and you making it difficult to promote fights. I got something for your ass." And that's why he started promoting Francis Ngannou. Secondarily to that is Dana has always trying to look into these untapped markets. There was no African champion. Dana's like, wow, if this guy can get in here and dominate, then now I have a new market that I can go into. I mean, you've seen it time and time again. You see what he's done with Brazil. That market's always been there. You see when GSP and other guys came from Canada, Rory McDonald and other guys from Canada, he started promoting up there, right? You see him going to China. You see him going to Korea. They even promoted Benson Henderson as a Korean fighter, just to get that market. So whenever there's untapped revenue, he's always going to go in that. He's going to go in that direction. But ultimately, what he really wants is he wants a blonde hair, blue eye, white American. And that's who he wants to promote. He wants to promote the Sage Northcutts. He wants to promote, the TJ Dillashaws. He wants to promote those guys more than anything. But that's not saying that he won't take a chance to capitalize on something when it's there in his face.
And even then, you gotta look at it. Sean O'Malley is a stoner kid from Montana that came in and started somebody the first time he saw him. He was like, in his eyes, oh shit, I got the next Conor McGregor. So I'm not saying what he's doing is right, but at the same time, I don't think he's racist. Is he a bully? Fuck yeah, he's a bully. And part of that is what made him a successful businessman. Like when Reggie was talking earlier about how they built the UFC, all of names like Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture, even though Randy was older, and you had guys around there like Tim Sylvia. You had more. He had to put all that marketing behind those guys because the UFC was a failing company at that time. Behind the Stephen Bonners, behind the Forrest Griffins, they were a failing company, so they had to go. With a Vegas term, they had to go all in. They had to push all their chips into the middle, and they had to promote those guys. They even tried to promote Kevin Randleman, but he would lose every other fight.
He got Randleman towards the tail end of his career. Randleman all injured and shit. Like, you couldn't do nothing with Randleman. But the thing was, like you stated, Dana put all that marketing behind it. Like I said, the black athlete is the most marketable athlete. You can prop them people over to white society. But on the back end, what Dana White and them hid for so long is the fact that they were constantly in the red pushing these fights. But then you bring up the same point with the Mighty Mouse, what they can't do for pay-per-views. The company's profitable, but you pointing this shit at with this ticky-tack crap with Mighty Mouse, which is BS. You didn't put no promotion behind Mighty Mouse. You didn't put no promotion behind his division. The thing is, Dana White picks and chooses what he wants. When he doesn't want to see anything, he's one of these dudes who's a visualist. He visualizes everything instead of doing the righteous thing within the programming. The UFC can be much bigger than what it is if Dana White stands up out of his own racist, his prejudiced damn ways. And I talk to black folks who are within the UFC, who are trainers and all that, who are spoken with that, and even some non-black people who identify that shit.
What happened to Burt Watson?
I don't know who that is. DB probably know who that is.
Yeah, Burt Watson. Actually, Burt is actually my boy, and Burt left with a bad situation. He can't stand Dana White.
Oh, tell me about that one, because I don't know who that is. I'm gonna type his name in.
It was a bad. DB, go ahead. I'll let you tell the story, but let's just say it all ended when one of Ronda Rousey's people disrespected. Remember, that was his last pay-per-view. That I think it was 190 or 193, something like that. One of Ronda Rousey's people disrespected him, and that was the last straw for him. He left. But go ahead. I'll let you tell the story, DB.
Oh, actually, go ahead and tell it. I'm actually chewing. I was chewing when y'all started talking.
Wait, what's his name again?
Burt Watson.
Burt Watson.
Burt Watson was, to put it plainly, he was the babysitter. When all the fighters got to whatever venue that they were at, or whatever city or country they were fighting in, he would handle everything. As soon as they got off the plane, okay, where's your weight? Who's all here with you? Your fight, I need you here at weigh-ins at this time. And he was the backstage guy. Okay, Silva and Miller, you're up next. Schaub and Miocic, you're after that, and then this fight after that. So he would handle all the things backstage. He would organize everything backstage. And I've heard the stories, and I believe them because I have nothing else to go on. I believe them that there was plenty of times where he was disrespected by some of the stars backstage and some of their people. Now, the Ronda Rousey story of how her team blatantly disrespected him, called him out of his name, said, "Who the fuck are you?" All type of stuff like that. And that was the final straw for him. Burt Watson was an older man. He was in his 50s, 60s, black guy. Best guy in the world. The voice of the UFC backstage. Everybody loved Burt Watson. But you had instances where people from the higher ups in the UFC and some of the stars from the UFC, like he even said something about some people from GSP's team disrespected. George St. Pierre disrespected him. But go ahead, DB.
No, I recognize him now.
Yeah, he came over from boxing, actually. Sorry. He came over from boxing. And he basically did all the management for the fighters. So whenever they came to LA, at the time, I was at Bally's, and then I left Bally's and I went to Gold's, which is right across the street. So every time they had events, he would call me, and I would house the fighters in my gym so they could use the sauna so they can cut weight. And we had boxing ring inside. And so the guys can come through and shadow box and, basically take care of them. And that's how I used to get a chance to go to all of the local fights, because he'd come in and he'd say, "What's the package? How many fighters we got? We got 13 fighters." I'm like, "All right, cool. Give me a G." He'd be like, "Shit, let me give you 800 and I got 3 tickets for you." I'm like, "That'll work. That'll be my pocket money right then and there." So he's like, Reg, let me tell you who he's like, and this will make sense to you. How could somebody not like Sam Watson? He's that kind of energy. He's that same exact kind of energy. He's basically Sam for MMA. So, yeah, just good people. But y'all go ahead. I'm finishing this late dinner.
Yeah, and like Eli said, you just pointed out the facts of racism within that organization. It's deep within the UFC. It's very deep over there. And I don't know. And then the other thing that loses me, has ownership passed with the UFC? Because I still see Zuffa's name on the titles and stuff.
WME, IMG, or whatever, they bought Zuffa. They own all the rights. They bought it. And at this point, they're hemorrhaging money because, you know, first of all, to go deeper into that, you know who those guys are, right?
What is some foreign investors?
No, they're conglomerate movie agents. They're movie agents. They came over. They bought the UFC when Ronda Rousey was at her apex, when Conor McGregor was coming along. John Jones hadn't been into any deep shit yet, so they see all these stars forming, and all of a sudden, Ronda Rousey gets knocked the fuck out. Conor fights when he wants to. John Jones is doing blow and fighting 2 weeks later, but still beating people. Then he's running into people in Albuquerque and still fucking people up. But yet he's getting the belt put on him and taken off of him, put on him and taken off of him. So it's not like they can build a big marketing campaign behind that. And then the thing with Conor, when Conor started throwing, like I disagreed with the whole putting it into the build-up with the fight with Khabib. Now, the whole him throwing the dolly through the bus, I don't think that should have been in the promotion montage. Like I think that was a fumble by the UFC. They shouldn't have done that. But I get it. They're trying to show that these guys really don't like each other. There's been several instances where these guys have seen each other backstage and their camps tried to fight each other. Like that shit with Conor and Khabib was real. That was not just promotion for a fight. Conor might have thought it was promotion for a fight, but the way Khabib and his people operate, those were levels of disrespect that can't be forgiven. So that's why Khabib, who's normally a calm, cool, collected guy, he respects everybody. We're in the cage together. I'm going to smash your face in and try to turn it to soup. After that, I'm going to shake your hand and go on about my way. Conor disrespected his wife, disrespected his father, disrespected his friends. So after he choked him out and wouldn't let go of the hold, he remembers this. Khabib would not let go of that hold. He legit wanted to kill Conor in their ring. Herb Dean had to literally get in there and break his hands off because he was about to kill Conor. Khabib, who's Russian, Muslim, they were trying to campaign that. Khabib's a megastar. He's a megastar. We probably don't see it here in America. But after he beat Conor, over in Dagestan, they were outside shooting their cage. They were celebrating. Khabib is a megastar. And we just don't see it here in America. But these guys like Anderson Silva, we may not see it here in America, but Anderson Silva is a treasure in Brazil. Vanderlei Silva is a treasure in Brazil. Jose Aldo is a treasure in Brazil. Maybe not here in America because we have too many casual fans. The casual fans only know John Jones. They only know Conor McGregor. They only know Anderson Silva. They only know Nate Diaz. So you gotta the hardcore fans are gonna watch anyway. Like I'm gonna watch this weekend. Kevin Holland, I really like Kevin Holland. We'll get off on that later. But I watch every fight. No matter what. I don't care who's fighting because you never know. I remember seeing John Jones when he was like 7-0, 8-0, smashing up Vladimir Montashenko, or however you say his name. I was like, oh, I like this guy. He's got my last name. I like him. I fuck with him. So,
my brother.
Go ahead.
No, I was giving a shout out, Matrix R. Salute to you, my brother.
But I'm not there, so I really can't say that he's racist. He just he's more of a bully. He bullies everybody. Because I think at this point, Kobe Covington is on his last nerve. I think at this point, at one point, Stipe was on his nerve. I think Jan Blachowicz is not on good terms with him because I think these guys don't get well. Besides Kobe, who's turned, but anyway, I don't think Stipe and Jan get the same promotion that they should. I didn't think that. Let's see, who's the 135-pound champion now? Besides Aljamain Sterling. Oh my God, I don't even talk about that fight.
Hold on, can I jump in just for 2 seconds?
Go ahead.
All right, so let's talk about those heavyweights for a second. So Stipe Miocic is the champion, right? Tell me any ranked top 10 contender right now, any ranked top 10 heavyweight current today, right now, that Stipe has fought in their prime or fought period outside of Francis Ngannou.
None.
So, like, saying that he's the greatest heavyweight of all time, like, that's a bit of hype.
Rocky Marciano shit.
There you go. Listen, because the heavyweights. Say it again.
I was saying, I didn't hear what Reggie was saying. That was who?
Rocky Marciano.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, but they were saying that because he's defended the belt more than anybody. Like,
I know, but that is.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So I don't buy into that Stipe hype like that. You know what I mean? Like, listen,
right.
I think, and again, if he fought any of these guys in their prime, he hasn't fought them. He hasn't fought against Curtis Blades. They used to be sparring partners, right? They trained together. He didn't want none of that smoke. Derek Lewis is there. He hasn't fought Derek Lewis. He fought Francis, but Francis wasn't in his prime. He was a green dude, and he was there. He had some knockouts, but he wasn't there yet. Look at the other guys. Alexander Volkov, right? Cyril Gane. Who did Gane just fight last week? Jair Rozenstruik. I mean, he hasn't fought none of these dudes.
Rozenstruik,
Biggie boy, yeah. So how can you really prop this guy up saying that he's really somebody? So if Dana doesn't like this dude, it's not because, listen, he's not going to like every single person. Dana wants to promote him. He wants to put the money behind him. He wants to call the guy a hero and a first responder and all of that. But if you asshole, you just fuck that up. There's trust fund babies that don't necessarily get all the money they should get because they fuck it up. So that's Stipe's fault for fucking up his privilege.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah, but go ahead, DJ.
No, I'm listening, man. Go ahead. But
then you said something about the 135-pound division.
I was really rooting for Aljamain Sterling this weekend. I felt like he got off to a great start, a fantastic start. But for some reason, he just would not slow down. He had Jan dead to rights. He had Peter Yan dead to rights. Was nothing he could do with his foot movement and his jab. There was nothing he could do with it. But he just wouldn't slow down and take in the moment. Like, you're piecing this guy up. He has nothing for you. You just keep rushing in, throwing punches. Just keep touching. And then once he got caught with that right hand in the first round, I thought he was done. They made him hesitant. He would move in and he would throw punches, but he wasn't connecting anymore. He was just throwing them just to throw them, just to look busy on some Manny Pacquiao shit.
Yeah, you talking about Aljamain, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about Aljamain. Aljo, Funk Master. I remember when he was like 5-0 in the UFC, breaking dudes, just taking them back, choking them out.
You got to turn to DB.
Let's see, what am I looking at?
You gotta mute your mic.
Yeah, we can't see the board, DB. You had to face the wrong way. Man, DB ain't got no camera skills, man. You got that shit upside down.
That got me looking sideways. Like, what am I looking at?
No, I don't know how to turn this fucking camera. No, I was just showing my sheets and shit. My brother went down to Vegas and my cousin went down there and was betting on some fights and shit. You know, like I tell y'all, man, when I'm calling these fights, I tell you who I want to win the fight, but telling you who I think is going to actually win the fight is something completely different. I was just showing the betting sheets from the two of the casinos down there. But yeah, Aljamain, he did well, man. And I think after it was over, I had a little shorty here with me, and she was like, "So, are you think they're gonna fight again?" I said, "Yeah, it'll probably be an immediate rematch, you know, because of the nature of how the fight was finished, with Peter Yan intentionally kneeing Aljamain in the head like that."
That was dirty as fuck. He did that shit on purpose. I don't give a fuck what he said. He did that shit on purpose. That was dirty. I'm sorry for cussing. Sorry for cussing. Go ahead.
No, you good. But I think what Peter Yan was trying to do, he was like, "Listen, I'm ahead. I'm pretty sure that Herb Dean, was it Herb? No. Was it Herb? No, it wasn't Herb. It was
other black guy, man. Mark Smith.
Yeah. Mark Smith. Yeah. He said he might just take a point from me, but I'm in rounds 3 and 4, I'm ahead. So even if they take a point from me, I'd be ahead in the fight still." So that's what he thought. But I'm gonna give this guy a knee to his face. He's gonna be dizzy, dazed, and confused, and I should be able to finish this fight. If not, you know, I'll still win. You know, I'll still win on points. But
did you see the scorecards from that fight? Did you see the scorecards from that fight?
Yeah, the scorecards.
If they had taken a point, it was gonna be even going into that last round.
Yeah,
them judges that whole night was trash, man.
Yeah, they were.
Garbage. How the hell is that Izzy and Yan fight 4-1? Even if he had 10-8 rounds, how was that 4-1? You telling me Izzy didn't win in the first round?
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I think Izzy won the first 2 rounds, and then the third round could have been a toss. But yeah, those they were foul. But back to the Aljamain real quick, so I'm gonna get off of it. I think Aljamain did exactly what he should do. Listen, if you ain't never been kneed in the face or kneed in the head like that before, even if it's an accident, like if you rolling and you grappling with somebody and it's team training and you got a bunch of dudes there and you accidentally just roll over into somebody's knee, like you pretty much done for the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, hold on, let me sit down for a second. And it's like, whoo, I gotta get my bearings back. And if that ain't never happened to you before, yeah, if that never happened, then you just don't know. So I think he did what he was supposed to do. Matter of fact, I don't even think he should have been with all of that. You know, I want to be a warrior and I want to finish the fight. Nope, this dude need me. I'm dizzy as fuck. Give me a second. Okay, I got a second. Yeah, if I can't continue, fight is over. You know, and all that throwing the belt back, fuck all of that. Take that belt, take it back there and say, yeah, I want a rematch too. You know, and then go in there and do what you're supposed to do. And like I said, when old girl asked me if they're gonna rematch, I said, yeah, it'll be a rematch. It'll be an immediate rematch. You know, the medical suspension probably only going to be 90 days. If so, you know, if he had a concussion or whatever, and then they can rebook the fight. But I think Aljamain's game plan was great. He just has to go in at a slower pace. But as he was doing on the feet, man, he was picking him apart. He was doing a good job. But he wasn't penetrating that guard. He was getting his shots off, and he had Peter Yan with a high guard backing up and even falling into the fence. And I don't know what the fuck he was doing with those takedowns. He had his legs straight and had his back bent over, doing arm grabs for the knee. Like, that's not how you take somebody down. And you know better than that, Aljo. So I think if he goes in here this time, takes his time, doesn't gas, by the third, you know, somewhere between the second and third round, he should be able to get a takedown. And then, you know, that's his world. So
DB,
yeah,
fight before the knee.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Did you have him winning that fight before the knee?
No, I had him down, but yeah, I had him winning round 1, and then 2, 3, and 4. I mean, 2 you could have probably given him 2, but 3 and 4 he lost 3 for sure, and he was losing 4.
Okay. Is that so? That's probably why people keep saying that. Oh, he faked it.
No, because like either way it goes, I mean, he would have been 1 or 2 fights away from getting another title shot. You know what I'm saying? Like it wouldn't have been crazy, you know. But I don't know how sometimes these corners don't know. Like he was shocked that he thought it was going to be a DQ and you know, a DQ or no contest, and then you know everything stays even, and then he just booked the fight again. Apparently, he said he didn't know that he was going to get the title. You know, listen, man, when you train with Chris Weidman, you train with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, you got Matt Serra, like you got champions, dude, that's had belts there. So you've been around champions shit basically since you came into this shit. So you should already know that, you know, that you're gonna win this belt. You know, you do what you're supposed to do. And I don't agree with a lot of things Chael Sonnen says, but Chael said, yeah, man, you take that belt and you tell them to shove it up their ass. You know, somebody asks you about how you got it. This dude illegally kneed me in my face when I was a grounded opponent. So I deserve this belt, but we can run it back.
And something else that he didn't do, he didn't continue the body work. I think he was getting off some great body shots, and he just let up on them for some reason. He was throwing some jabs and some straight lefts and some straight rights to the body that he was connecting with consistently. He just didn't continue on that path.
So how do y'all see the rematch going?
I think his game plan wasn't off. I just think he rushed it. Similar, I equate almost everything to football. It's if you're running the ball very successfully, don't start bombing. Don't start throwing 50-yard bombs just because you can. No, keep running the ball. It's working. I believe his pace was working. His volume was working. Just slow it down. Pick your shots a little bit better. Go back and dig to the body some more, because make no mistake about it, he was gassing out and Young was starting to break.
Yeah, I think he can, as long as he goes in there and paces himself, the entire fight looks different. Whether he wins or loses, the entire fight looks different. You know, I think his length and his range and his wrestling, he's that's just gonna make all the difference in the world. I don't want to miss. I know some of the people in the chat was saying something. Best Pugilist, what's up with you? And Best Pugilist said, let me see. Robert Brown said Aljo was hyped. Best Pugilist said Dana White is a racist, as most whites are in America, and this country is inherently racist. And because of white privilege, they are born into it, and most of them can't help it. They don't realize that they are. That's a fact.
My brother.
Yeah. Okay. Got Reg in there with his comment. Let me see. Robert Brown said, yeah, he was hyped up and seemed like he gassed out a little bit or got frustrated. Yeah, I think it was a little bit of both. He got gassed and he was frustrated that he got gassed. He didn't see that in training camp, you know, but he started out way too fast. So you can do that for the first minute. And if you can get something, cool. But if not, man, you gotta slow down. I didn't like Ray Longo in the corner. You're doing great, Aljo. Keep pressuring. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm sorry, what the hell are you talking about? This dude is out here gasping for air. And he asked him, you saw when he had the camera in the corner, how you feel? He was like, whew, like, yeah, I'm like, shit, I'm gassed, I'm exhausted, but I gotta go back out there. Yeah.
I didn't hear that because I don't watch the fights with the commentary. I don't like to be biased by what I'm watching. I like for my eyes to tell me what I'm seeing. I don't want Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier and John Anik and whoever else is at the desk. I don't like for them to tell me what I'm seeing. I like to actually, that's why I say I watch it without the sound though. It's like, okay, that was a good left. Okay. Slip, good takedown, good entry. But DB, something you and I are gonna disagree on.
Yeah.
Is this Amanda Nunes thing? I don't understand how you can say it's a dunk for her. I really don't.
Okay, so this is the part that you probably don't understand. Can you pause? Can you mute your phone for a second? Yeah, that you had some like fire sirens in the background. This is the part that you probably don't understand. And I think Tone Brown didn't understand this until I explained it to him later in the chat. I'm not saying that Amanda is scared. I'm not saying that Amanda is not going to win the fight if they are to get in the ring or the cage. What I'm saying is, based off of her demeanor and her words, she is subtly ducking out of that fight. She said that she should fight Jermaine. Well, listen, there's nobody else for you to fight at 45. Like that's done. So it's basically, whoever is in the top 3 or 4 there and who's at the top of 35. There's only about 4 fights for you, right? There's Bullet, there's Jermaine, there's Holly, and Vixen, and maybe one other person I'm probably not thinking about that's ranked at like 6 or 7. But those are the only fights for her. Holly Holm is hurt. That's the reason why she's not fighting Vixen. So she's out. Bullet got a fight set up, so she's already in something. So the only other 2 people that are available is Vixen and Durandamy. So when somebody wants to fight you, she says, Holly fell out of our fight from sickness or injury, and you just got in a fight where you won in a minute. You didn't take no damage. You just got $1.7 million. This should be easy for you to fight me while you're still in shape in a few weeks. And if you say no, then that is a subtle duck. What else is Amanda waiting for? Go ahead.
Okay, this is why it's not a duck. Now, one thing we do agree on, she has nobody else to fight. You know why? Because she stopped Jermaine Durandamy the first time they fought ages ago. And then the second time they fought, it wasn't even close. Now, Jermaine did hurt her. I think it was in the second round. She hurt her with a right. Can't remember whether it was a hook or an uppercut, but she hurt her. And after that, Amanda said, to hell with that. I'm going to take you down. I'm going to beat you up for 4 more rounds. So she's already beaten Jermaine Durandamy twice. She's already beaten Bullet twice. She's already knocked out Holly Holm. She knocked out Cyborg. She knocked out Ronda. Now, she already the girl who I keep wanting to call that girl Raquel. Juliana Pena just beat Sarah McMahon. Amanda Nunes already choked her out. Now, I'm sorry that you're getting all these girls now that I've already beaten them, but you need to go find somebody else to fight. You're 2-2 in your last 4 fights. Now, I get that she was injured and she had to take 2 years off to have a baby, but after that, she's come back and she's lost to Jermaine Durandamy, and she's also lost to she lost to Bullet before that. Because I think people forget that Juliana Pena actually got armbarred by Valentina Shevchenko, and she got choked out by Jermaine Durandamy, who's not even a submission artist. She's a Dutch kickboxer who knocked out a man, by the way. Like that, you can go look that fight up. She legit knocked out a man in the ring.
Yeah, I've seen it several times.
But it's like you're losing to women that I've beaten multiple times. Why should I respect you? Go ahead, I'll wait for your answer.
Perfect. And my brother Jay Dixon just put it there. If she's not going to fight Pena, then who is she going to fight? So it's just that simple. For me, I'm a guy that you heard me when I was talking about Devin Haney, when you heard the other fighters, when I said, listen, he's got to get in there with Riley, get in there with Ivan Mendy, get in there with Richard Comey. Like, just keep fighting dudes. Stay active. I'm all about activity, especially when you are a champion. I think you should be probably more active than anybody else. Like, you need to clean out the division and then move. But there, you can't just continue to do the same thing, like sitting on the sidelines. That's that Stipe Miocic type of nonsense. You got the belt and you saying everybody needs to, kind of playing chess and checkers. You need to fight him and he needs to fight him. Listen, you're not the matchmaker, you're not the promoter. You're a fighter. Your job is to get in there and fight. So if this is the next person up, then you fight that person. Otherwise, you give up the belt and you retire. So she needs to fight whoever is next. And she's got a girl that's next and that's calling her name. These other girls ain't calling her name. You want to fight somebody that's not calling your name? Like that, for me, that's bullying. You got somebody that's raising her hand. She got the raising my hand emoji, and she's like, fight me. Give that girl her opportunity. You great, right? You the GOAT. You the GOAT. Show your greatness. Get in there and prove it. I'm about that action. You know, we were talking about a little bit a while ago about Boots Ennis. I think Reggie and I said the same thing. You know, listen, it seems like you're the goods. We know you're the goods. You go in there and you perform and you have defeat and all of this. But man, you got to show me every fight that again. You got to keep proving it every fight. And listen, Anderson Silva, he was the greatest of all time. But guess what? He took a whole bunch of L's after that. Nick Diaz was, I mean, you know, man, this guy was great, right? We see Nathan Diaz. He came in off the Ultimate Fighter, came in from, I mean, he was just doing his thing. But guess what? Guy's got 12, 13 losses now. George Masvidal. So you got to keep going in there and proving this stuff over and over again. It's not like, you know, like you win the NBA Finals or the Super Bowl and you good for 7-8 months. Like, no, you got to keep going in there every fight and keep proving that you're the best until your time is up. And that's what she's got to do. And not doing that is a duck.
Okay, so even though she's beaten all the former champions in 2 different weight classes, I might add, she's knocked out and submitted and dominated former champions in 2 different weight classes. But because some girl who's fought 4 times in 5 years calls her out after she just fought, she's gonna smoke Juliana Pena if they fight. You know that, right?
Hey,
just like I told you, she smoked Megan Anderson.
Styles make fights.
Say it again, Kyle. Say it again.
Styles make fights, big dog.
Right.
And,
right.
But I get all that. I get all that. But what does Juliana Pena do better than Jermaine Durandamy or Holly Holm?
Hold on. So a couple things. Number one, you're missing the point because you're saying this girl. Well, this girl is a decorated fighter. This girl is ranked as a top 10 contender. This girl is a professional fighter. So you're saying this girl as if it's somebody that like Canelo's fighting, you know, come and pick up, or Gennady Golovkin fighting a Steve Rose, somebody that we never heard of. We're talking about an actual contender, okay? And also, please don't misconstrue this. And when the fight happens in 5 months, go, DB, I told you she was going to win. I told you. I said she's going to win too. But that doesn't mean that you don't take the fight. You got to take the fight. My point is that she's ducking the fight with her words. Be who you're supposed to be. It's the same shit Jamal Charlo's doing. You're a lion and you're undefeated and you're a champion and all of this shit. But then somebody say something, you're telling them that they got to get a COVID test and to show a GED and you got to be over 25 years old. Those are tactics for ducking. Gary Russell Jr., phenomenal guy, lost one fight a long time ago, had all the skills in the world. But then he starts saying, give me a term sheet and do this. These are ways that people are ducking fights. It happens. Great fighters duck fights. We see it. So she got to get in there. She got to squab. And then the triangle theories don't work in combat sports. Let me ask this last question before. Let me ask you this last question. Did Daniel Cormier fight against Stipe Miocic?
Yes.
What was the result?
Knocked him out once, got knocked out twice.
Got you, right? So it was mixed results, right? Did George St. Pierre fight against Matt Hughes?
Yes.
What was the result?
Lost the first one, won the second.
You see how it works? It's not like it's just one thing that happens and then we just run with that one result. Things happen. Somebody wins one fight, the next person wins the next 2 fights. So we don't know what's going to happen. So that's why we ask for these people to get in the ring. Us as fans, us as content creators, us as people on the outside, we have to promote saying fight that person. Don't duck no fights and stay active. That's our job as fans. Go ahead.
Hey, DB, goddamn right. Because I was going to bring up that same point when they were bringing this up, but you knocked it out the park with that shit. These fighters go in there, you lose a fight, you go back into the camp, you watch the film, you improve. Everything's about improvement, and you get these probabilities, like DB is rolling out. Everything's about probabilities. You ain't gonna just because you. Too many fans take it as, all right, I beat this person, I'm forever going to be the winner. He can never beat me. I proved myself. What happened to the rematch trilogies, the quadruple headers, whatnot? You looking through some of the old vintage fighters, the old great fighters, they may have faced an opponent 5 and 6 times. When you have great matchups, nothing's wrong with it. Even if you blow someone out, these fighters, if they're really true to their craft and they're building themselves up, they're able to regroup. They may come in here and best you one day. So you can't take that away. She got nowhere else to go. Amanda Nunes, she got to fight these women who she beat. Run back through them again. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, but this has been a dope-ass MMA talk. I ain't going to lie about that.
Yeah, I actually got to go. I got to finish this paperwork, man. I'm trying to hang in here, but I got to get this paperwork done.
Don't run because you proved your point wrong. Don't run away now. You got.
No.
Don't thug me, son. Don't thug me, son.
Trust me, I ain't going nowhere. I'm just trying to figure out what a 500 fighter in the last 5 years is going to do to the champ who's knocked out multiple champions twice.
Again,
that's all.
No, Amanda the baddest female fighter to me. I give her that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It can happen though, man. We didn't think Ronda Rousey could lose until she lost. So
yep.
But you know what's crazy about that though? Going back to, I remember hearing back in like 2013 that there was this chick in Legacy Fighting Championship that could knock out Ronda Rousey. Nobody believed it. Her name was Holly Holm. That's the whole reason Dana brought her over was because everybody was saying she can knock out Ronda.
Yep.
Bang, bang.
That's how I go. That being said, we're going to do the last word. Hey, I want to keep going a lot, but damn it, I've been falling asleep on the job. I've been falling asleep on the live streams. So I gotta get some, you know what I'm saying? And then I gotta get some sleep, man. So DJ, give us your last words, where to find you, and stuff like that, and then we'll go around the panel.
You can find me at work or on YouTube at Donnie Jones. You know, I just love fights, man. I like to see people get beat up, whether it's looking up street fights on YouTube, MMA, Bellator kickboxing, K1 lion fight, boxing. I love fights, man. I just like seeing people get beat up. And, you know, my whole theory behind that, and I think I've heard this before, is, you know, you see a pickup basketball game, pickup football game, and you see a fight on the corner. Which one you stopping to watch first?
Hey, bro, I've been saying the same shit. Nothing beats fighting. A fight will stop
fights,
people from
man.
paying attention to
It
everything.
don't need no translation. This don't need no translation, baby. So, hey, DB, I love it, man. I love the back and forth. I don't have too many people who can keep up with me around here. I look forward to doing this again, guys. I'll set up a reminder next time y'all go live, but I really got to get this paperwork done before 4:30.
All right. Peace, DJ.
Sure,
All right, thanks, bro.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.
DB.
Man, you know I'm over here happy in the motherfucker, boy. Man, get a chance to talk about it, get off the chest, man. I love getting on streams. We talk about MMA. I love when we get on streams talking about boxing, but we've mixed those together, and you can use references and analogies that people understand because they see both sports. And maybe you don't know all of the things about MMA, but it's enough so that you can relate to the points that I'm making. Yeah, you know, when we're in the barbershop, man, me and Donnie and maybe about 5 or 6 other people, not many more than that, can actually have good conversations. And Reggie, just because he likes fights so much, you know, and been around long enough to see some of the old school stuff, he gets it too. And I think with me being around and talking about this stuff more too, you know, and sending people, you know, information about the fights, I think that's just kind of awakening the fighting spirit a little bit more, because boxing is not going to be on every weekend. And if it is, it's not always going to be some fights that we are interested in. So there may be an MMA fight or a card that's more interesting than a boxing card for that particular weekend, you know? So it'll always be something for everybody to there'll always be something for us to look at, man. But I was happy about this, man, today. Good talks, man. And I appreciate the opportunity to jump on the platform and the panel. And always good to talk to my big bro, Reg, man. And this was great, man. So I appreciate it. Y'all can find me right here where it says DB, or you can catch me at my other show, Barbershop Conversations.
Hey,
Thanks,
DB, it don't say DB, it says Cali Boxing Advocate.
Yeah, that one too. Yeah, that one too.
But yeah, man, hey, this is a dope ass talk, man. And even to blend the MMA side of it, when we're going to debt, I mean, that was some dope shit. That was really dope, man. And I think the two should be blended, man, especially to have black fans with a voice. Same thing would end up kind of shaking the market of boxing, is to see this huge wave of black fan bases that just popped up out of nowhere. And to have this voice, this excitement, this thrill, this interest, and this, kind of, we got a stake within the sport. We feel like we ought to be stakeholders within the sport of boxing. And it started to kind of open the game up. We hold the boxing to a standard. And even like the brother Johnny Jones said, and I remember saying this in a live stream, is the fact boxing, all this fight sports can be lifted to the highest level. They haven't hit their full capacity because nothing beats fighting. Like, he even brought the point. You at a basketball game, a football game, a baseball game, you can be locked in that game. The minute a fight break out, ain't nobody watching that shit no more. Everybody has an interest in fighting. And if you put on the best, and these fighters are willing to fight the best and not worry about win, lose, or draw, just going out there to perform, they do this shit. They attract people up over there. People gonna always want to watch that shit. And I think the link between boxing and MMA, it should be attached. And I think fans, and in most cases, both people cross over anyway. I know I'm a crossover fan of the sports. I may hate Dana White, but I still go over there to watch the sport for certain fighters. But I want to pay attention to every fighter, man. I don't just believe in one to watch the black fighter. You got a lot of people coming from all over the world. And that's why I don't buy into, I'm gonna just support the black fighter. I'm gonna support the fighter that's serious about the sport, about the sport that he's in. And I prefer to have the black athlete to be more interested in the sport that he's in than to be interested in the club, interested in an Instagram bitch or the local bitch in let me stop saying that. Or the local chick down the street who pulls him up out the gym, when you got all these other cats coming up out of all these other international programs, being serious about the sport and becoming a very serious threat. And I love the whole international aspect. And I love when these other dudes, because when you got other dudes coming from these other places and being serious about the game and kind of snatching food off your plate because you half stepping it, it only makes these dudes have to work better. And I like that. And I think the bridging between both sides of the sports, and I like, even if they, kind of cross the street between the two different styles of combat. Boxers go over to MMA fighters come to boxing. Let's test it out. That's what fighting should be. Fighting should be a mixed martial art. Or a mixing of all the arts. But that's my thoughts on that, man. Great show, man.
Appreciate it, man. Reg, tell everybody where to find you at.
Oh, yeah. Y'all can find me over on Boxing Conversation with Reggie Owens. And if I lose the channel, all I'm going to do is create a new one. Because I got 2 strikes. I'm walking on, what's that, like the tightrope? I'm walking on a thin line with YouTube. I thought they would have got me for talking about the Queen and shit. Anytime I talk about Trump or the Queen, they get me. But they can't stop me. I like this YouTube shit. Even if I lose the channel, all I'm going to do is create a new one. So I don't cry about shit. You already know that shit. It's going to be the same type of cooking, just a rebuild. But I'm going to try to clean it up and stop losing these damn channels. But if I lose it and y'all looking for me, it's the same channel.
The cyber bully. Yeah.
Oh man, another one.
Yeah, but for all the family too, man. I know, Kyle, you probably run through them, but man, Jay Dixon, Robert Brown, Bon Qui, the Sweet Science Examiner, Big Tank in the building, the brother Yova, Who else we had in here? Best Pugilist, man. And Cameron Markham, man. P Good. So all the brothers, thanks for coming out and supporting our family Kyle, man. Build his channel and his network.
Man, I appreciate you too, man. My brothers, man. Although we never met in person, you're my brothers for life, dog. For real, for real. And I appreciate y'all, man, taking y'all time out to join the panel. And man, I appreciate y'all perspective on MMA. I'm learning so much about MMA, man. I ain't gonna stop y'all from talking about it. This is a platform for us all, man. And it's always a treat when players meet. Shout out to Tank, man, and his new channel that he's working on, man. I can't wait till he get that off the ground and get it started. The movies that he's gonna be watching and talking about, man, I can't wait to see what he's about to do. And again, man, another like the other one, same soup reheated, man. We're gonna keep our foots on their necks. And again, tomorrow night, don't know what time, but it's gonna be after Fred. So I'll holler at y'all tomorrow, man. Thank y'all for coming through, everybody in the chat, for showing love and standing up, man. If I didn't have work tomorrow, cuz we'll be on until 3 in the morning because the conversation was that good, man. And I'm sorry I had to cut it short, but damn it, man. And again, don't forget the t-shirt giveaway, man. Whoever's in the chat tonight, you gonna be we got you in there for this shirt right here, or any shirt that you need, whatever size, man. I got all sizes, man. If you're a 5X, I got you. So yeah, so whenever April 10th happens, we're gonna be at Reg for the commentary, you know what I'm saying? The blow by blow with Reggie O. Hey, write that one down. Write that one down, Reg. You know what I'm saying? The blow by blow with Reggie O. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna do that on Red Show April 10th. And then that night we're gonna whoever got it right, we're gonna send them a t-shirt, man. Thank y'all for coming through. And again,
you are the one who are racist. And shout out to Matrix R in the chat. All right, peace, family. Love y'all, brothers, man.
all right, y'all, man. We holler at y'all tomorrow, man. Peace.